In today's video, we have some records to set straight and some truths to reveal. We'll discuss how we really signed Mykhailo Mudryk and learn the key details, figures and events which steered Mudryk towards signing for us. Now to move on, we'll discuss how Mudryk's first day at training went, and certain things we'll discuss some breaking news today, and we talk David Raya of Brentford as we are entertaining making a possible move to sign a new goalkeeper. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you to everyone that's been showing me so much love in the comments, so many supportive words, and of course thank you for hitting that like button as well too. I'm going to continue to keep things ambitious and I'm going to go for over 2k likes again if you guys are liking the content around January. Hope you guys enjoy. Before we get into anything, let me get one big plug out of the way first. Today's video is brought to you by friends of the channel in OneFootball. Download OneFootball right now to stay up to date to all things pre-game before a massive game versus Liverpool this weekend, as well as keeping up to date throughout January for the transfer window. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend you guys do instantly: download OneFootball, go to Discover, and type in Mudryk, RYK, and I want you guys to press the star feature to stay up to date to all the latest news and information happening around Mudryk. As we can see, we are on Mudryk's profile page where you can stay up to date to all things Mudryk happening throughout the season. We can see his career stats at Shakhtar. I mean, crazy that he's cost this amount of money, even though he's played less than 50 games, but he's got 12 goals scored for them, which is a decent record and rate. So this is an example of many handy features that you'll find out for yourselves using OneFootball. It's absolutely free, and you'll find a link below in the description and in the top comment. So right now, let's discuss the latest story that dropped later today, and we talk David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, as us, Man United and Spurs are battling it out against each other to try and sign him. Now I guess each one of us does need a new goalkeeper. You look at Spurs, Lloris has been mids. He's not been there this season. He's been extremely error prone, so it makes sense to sell him. Man United, I'm a bit surprised why they're looking for a replacement for De Gea, who I think has been really good this season, but one weakness of his game is the fact that he is not excellent to like that world-class level that you'd kind of want to have on your goalkeeper. And naturally with us, on the other hand, we don't know yet if Mendy will agree to signing a new contract extension. That could be a possibility. On one hand, we could be deciding, even though KEPA has been reliable for us this season, it's time to sell him because we need to reduce the wage bill. KEPA is on ridiculous wages. We could sign a more talented goalkeeper for way less. That helps us amortize the cost even better over the years. I feel like this could be the solution we're looking to find, and I think Raya could replace either one of KEPA or Mendy, depending on those factors surrounding both players. But you know what? For me, I've never really seen us sign a specialized goalkeeper that is known for its distribution. Now we've had some amazing keepers here, you know, Courtois, Cech, Mendy, Kudachini, many of these guys, but I wouldn't say that their distribution was of that world-class level that you're seeing from new goalkeepers like, you know, Simmons, Edison, of course Alisson, the bait ones. And I really feel like with this new team we're building, with this focus on fast, pacey attackers, maybe playing more in the transitions to release these guys and more 1v1 opportunities, ideally a keeper like Raya allows you to, you know, release guys on the counter-attack. They're going to feel confident to make runs. How many times have we seen Edison or Alisson, you know, put their wingers in amazing situations based on their incredible distribution? But most importantly, when it comes to playing out from the back, knowing that Raya is comfortable stepping up, getting involved in the build-up, that could allow us to find more unique solutions when it comes to beating the press from the opposition, because he could find a pass between the lines, but maybe a João Felix is there, or a Mudryk, or Havertz, or Mount, and it gives you those solutions too on the counter-attack, because you know you can play balls over the top in the wide areas. So I feel like this would be a smart buy, and I feel like this link comes courtesy of the new transfer team that Todd Bowley's built. He has signed specialist experts. They are relying upon, you know, top of the range data analysis to find the best possible players, of course, to complement the team. Graham Potter had Sanchez at Brighton, who is also known for his distribution. For his style of football, ideally, you want to have a goalkeeper that is right at the top when it comes to playing out from the back and playing over the top. And this is one part of Raya's game where he takes great pride in the fact that he is very good at playing out from the back. And that's because the player himself said this is something he constantly works upon in training sessions, and you can see the benefits it's had over the long term. So honestly, you guys, how do you feel about this news? I think it's quite promising. I think it's quite interesting, and I think for the price could be available for, he could be an absolute bargain. So right now, let's discuss how Mykhailo Mudryk's first training session went since signing for us. And I think he got off to a good start today when he announced on an Instagram post that London is blue. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, the pain isn't going away anytime soon. I understand, when you're hearing reports that they relied so heavily upon either signing Felix or Mudryk that they didn't even look at other options. I think that's kind of mad to me, to be fair, but it seems like they paid the price, and I'll discuss that in the final part of today's video. But as you guys are watching the training clips, I think one thing I love about Mudryk here is this guy's mentality. This guy is way too cool and way too calm. All the hype he had around him, I'd imagine the hype back home in Ukraine was even greater too, as well too. And this guy has been taking it all in like it's absolutely nothing. He's been having fun with it. He's been having fun. He's been trolling on social media. He's been making his posts. And I guess it makes a lot of sense because Mykhailo Mudryk was kind of like a online internet sensation, as he was demonstrating some like incredible pieces of skill and technique and touches and making a massive impression online due to, the unique way in which he was showing these skills. So this is a guy that wants to entertain. This is a guy that likes the limelight. This is a guy that does not shy away from the limelight. And I feel like that type of confidence, that inner confidence, where for some people it could border on arrogance, but for me, guys who put in the work in particular, they have a different type of confidence, like a resolute confidence about their game. And I guess it makes a lot of sense because Mudryk himself has said that he is a massive fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, and that's based on the fact that Ronaldo's professionalism is like GOAT status, in my opinion. Mudryk's pace is out of this world. He's been told by his former coach that he should try and set a record this season of trying to target 40 kilometers in terms of sprint speed in the game, which is not something that's impossible for him. I hope he gets to break that record here with us. But when you see the training he does to, improve his speed and his balance and his power and his explosiveness and his power, this is something that he prides himself upon. And this guy can play the game at a ridiculously fast tempo, and I think that's what makes him so exciting. In the training clips, I feel like he's looking quite composed, quite confident, but seeing some examples of his great shooting and his great strike technique, I think that's one part of his game that isn't perfect yet. It's already really good, but I feel like with his determination and his skill set, he could reach a world-class level when it comes to deciding games based on his finishing technique. I feel like this guy will add so much to the team. Tomorrow, you guys, it's going to be all about Mudryk and all about Liverpool as well too. But, since losing Timo Werner made me realize that teams actually used to fear us because of Werner's pace. Werner's pace forced teams to drop their defensive lines. Werner's pace disorganized defenses as well too, and it gave us a platform on the counter-attack. And for me, when you're signing a Mudryk who has that Werner-style pace, but on top of that, he has the skill, he has the technique, the first touch, the ability to play in tight spaces, things that Timo Werner was struggling, this is how you make an upgrade signing that elevates how the system is played. And I can't wait to see what this guy does versus TAA against Liverpool, because throughout this season, I've been watching comps of Trent Alexander-Arnold constantly getting peppered by left wingers, Kvaratskhelia, Mitoma, so many more. I feel like this weekend it will be Mudryk's turn to have some fun with him. So you guys, let's now end things on one of the big, massive stories coming out today, and we finally get the full truth behind how we beat Arsenal to the signature to sign Mykhailo Mudryk. Now, ever since we announced the signing of Mudryk, I feel like there's been a lot of mayhem and commotion online. A lot of rumours have been surfacing, a lot of ill will shown towards us because people are believing that we are doing some shady deals behind the scenes, that there's even maybe some influence from Roman Abramovich helping us tie things down, or the fact that we simply have no plan, we like to follow other clubs and just offer a lot more money. Today, the rumours can end. We found out today that Mudryk will be earning a contract worth 97k per week. Now, previous reports suggested that he might be earning between 150k, even up to the tune of 200k, but the Athletic report he will be earning a 97k contract per week. Now, there is no clarification behind whether this is the base fee set at 97 million, plus there being clauses inside his contract which would allow him to earn more. So for example, let's say he got 10 goals in a season, he might get an extra £1 million bonus or something at the end. I'd imagine things like that would be inside the contract, because Todd Boehly said before that he wants to offer incentivized contracts, performance-related contracts. Achieve your goals in a season, you will earn more money. But anyway, you guys, the final piece of news around the contract is that there is an option to extend his deal, taking it to 2031. Now, this strategy to buy players and offer them lower wages is going to help us reduce our wage bill over time. And of course, lower wages also safeguards us in the future. Let's say, for example, one of the big guys doesn't work out. We won't have to worry about teams getting priced out now due to wages, stopping us from making sales. This has happened to so many players like Lukaku, Ziyech, etc, etc. You know, it hurts you in the long term. We also found out that Arsenal first attempted to tap Mudryk up, and I do say the word tap because they held talks with the player first before even making their intent shown towards Shakhtar Donetsk. You're not supposed to do that in football, even though every club basically does it already. And even when the Shakhtar director confirmed that Arsenal did do this, he reported that they didn't punish them or do anything. I kind of think that's how the game works. But anyway, Arsenal were on the jump offensive. Players like Willian were even involved. Players like Zinchenko, of course Arteta, and Edu, the director, as well too. And they've been spending time enticing him to sign for Arsenal because Arsenal had plans to create one of the most exciting young attacks if he was added alongside players like, you know, Saka, as well as Martinelli. Now, in terms of the final offer, we found out that both clubs made the exact same offer. The only difference is the terms and structure of our payments were a lot more satisfying for Shakhtar Donetsk compared to Arsenal. And it's what I said in a previous video talking about Mudryk when I suggested the fact that if we tell Shakhtar that we're going to win the league, we're going to win the Champions League within the time frame of Mudryk's contract, they're going to feel a lot more confident in the fact that we can achieve these goals compared to Arsenal. But to break this down into even more detail, what was it in particular that gave Shakhtar this sense of confidence and understanding? That's because we're getting some indications behind what this project is that is being marketed towards players who are open to buy, because this project is enticing everyone. It's allowing us to get into conversations with players as well too. People are sitting down to hear us out and want to have conversations. Anyway, Sergei Palkin, the director of Shakhtar Donetsk, revealed a lot of information and gave us some insight behind how these talks went and how these structures were met. He revealed that during the end of December and during the start of January, Egbali and Todd Boehly flew to Turkey to hold personal talks with Shakhtar Donetsk. In these talks, they asked for permission to hold direct talks with Mudryk, even though there was some contact already made between him, Graham Potter, and a few others. During this 8 to 10 hour meeting, we detailed the next 5 years and what we hope to achieve within that time frame. After these talks, Palkin said himself that he believed the fact that we were building one of the best teams in Europe, and he really strongly believed the plan and strategy being put into place to achieve these targets. He revealed that we were serious in all key areas for the future. We were serious in our stadium expansion plans, in our sports science, in improvements commercially at the club as well too, to allow us to have even more flexibility with financial fair play if we can boost the revenue potential of this club. You know, he said our ambition was unparalleled. And ultimately, this is the reason why Shakhtar felt a lot more confident to accept our terms, because they're more likely to earn a lot more money over the long term compared to Arsenal. For me, I felt like Arsenal spent way too much time securing things. You know, in a market like this, the more time you waste will attract other clubs to come in and try and sign. Of course, Graham Potter made things very known with the transfer team that he wanted a new winger and was a big fan of Mykhailo Mudryk. During the conversations to entice him to sign for us as well, I think there was a very real fact that was presented in these talks, and that was the fact that, okay, if you sign for Arsenal, you are competing alongside Martinelli. If you sign for us, you have an instant place in this first team. And I like the fact that a lot of the logic that us fans come up with by ourselves by consuming stories, reading these reports, it's nice to know that these same things come up during conversations with transfers. But regardless, I kind of feel like all this talk about Mudryk has to end right now. The player clearly thought that we had a better project to offer him. We satisfied terms very quickly and resolutely with Shakhtar. And even though we made less contact over the past few months for Mudryk, in the end, I guess actions speak louder than words. And Mudryk thought we were the better club to sign, and that is why London is blue. So you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching all the videos. I'm really excited to make content these days now, as you guys are really motivating, keeping things real. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up. I'm the EFC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.